my devil's advocate. The scripture talks about fasting. You know what I mean? It talks about like putting aside worldly needs for a moment to be with God. So I think the reason why Christians put being broke on a pedestal is because in their eyes it makes them closer to God. In reality, how close you are to God is how close you are to God. Broke, rich doesn't change it, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not. You know what I mean? You can't look at like finances and then be like, oh, he's got more money, he must be further from God.
Yeah.
And also, I used to kind of like, there's that verse, it's harder for a rich man to get into heaven than it is for a camel to get through the eye of a needle. I used to look at that verse and like, people have all these weird, wacky translations of like why it says that and like that. But no, it is. Because when you have a lot of money, you stop relying on God.
Yep.
It's simple. Like it's hard for everybody to get into heaven, but it is hard for rich people to get into heaven too. And here's why. It's also hard for stealers to get into heaven. It's also hard for sexual promiscuous people to get into heaven. It's hard for all these sorts of people to get into heaven. Obviously, Christ came, he forgave us. Through his love, we're given entry. That said, it is hard for rich men because rich people learn to not rely on God. And so the posture that I've found, dude, is like, who does it all belong to? That's the thing. That's what you have to remind yourself of. Like, your body isn't even yours. Who are you to think that your bank account is yours, right? You start to take this like prideful ownership of something that's been rented out to you. It's on lease, you know? And so that to me is the posture, I think. But I do fundamentally agree that like, this like fake, this like, it is like it's almost like a ego in humility thing that Christians have. And I got this radar for it when I was going through church and youth programs and everything growing up. I was just like, that's fake humility. You're not actually humble. You want to look humble, and so you take a low-paying job because, quote, the meek will inherit the earth, right? And it's just like, all right, dude. Like, I can see right through you, but I'm just not going to take the time to point it out.
Dude, 100%. So it's like there's like this balance, and I 100% agree with like the devil advocate angle, because it's like at the end of the day you have to be obedient to God. But the reason, like, people use like the young rich ruler, or like Jesus said, if you want to inherit the kingdom, give away everything you have. It wasn't like a blanket statement for every rich person or rich person. Like, in reality, we're in the top 1% of the world, I think, like just by being in America, much less being in the top, 3% of America. So we're already classified as rich in the scheme of like the grand scheme of the world. So like what he was meaning was money had that guy's heart.
Yes.
For someone else, it could be food or a watch or, like a different material item. So he was just speaking to that guy. And it's
100%,
like,
dude, you gotta sacrifice whatever's holding your heart. If you enjoyed this clip and you want to mentor directly underneath me and learn all the strategies that we've implemented into our students' businesses to help over 100 people reach 6 figures a year, 100 to $999,000 a year, and over, I think it's 15 students as of January 2023 to $1 million a year or more, then I want you to go ahead and schedule your completely free consultation with us. There's no pressure to make a decision. We're not going to force your hand. We're just trying to figure out what it is that you need in order to take that next step to either start your online consulting or coaching business in any niche, any industry, or take your existing consulting or coaching business and really scale it to that next level in order to really sustain a business, put a lot of money in the bank very quickly, and serve a lot of people. Okay? So you can use the pinned comment on this video, or if you're listening on our podcast, go to treycockrum.com/schedule-page, and you can check out that page. It's just a simple schedule page. We can fill out a form, and we want to know a bit about you, a bit about where you're coming from and what's motivating you to even speak with us, so that we can make sure we give you the best options. And if we notice that you're honestly not in the best place to get started, whether that's financially or time constraints or otherwise, we'll make some other suggestions to you, okay? Our reputation is everything to us, so we're only going to really make offers to people we know for a fact that we can help. And even if we don't make you an offer, it will still be some of the best 45 to 60 minutes you've spent on your business this year, because you're going to get a custom strategy and be told exactly what you should do next. Okay, so book your free consultation using the link in the description or in the pinned comment, or if you're listening on our podcast, treycockrum.com/schedule-page. See you there.